it, making most of the calls and following this vehicle. Now, this person does that they are being followed because the LAPD was in pursuit, but the speeds never got over 80 miles an hour. Now, was that because of traffic or was that because of the decision the driver made? That's all to be figured out later on. But right now, they are still tracking it. They are asking for the California Highway Patrol to pick this up. But right now, it's just a vehicle driving on the freeway. We're passing Westminster as the off-ramp. We're in the city of Westminster also on the 405, getting into heavy traffic. LAPD, their unit's still behind it, but far behind right now, working to catch up. The helicopter overhead, making the calls, keeping an eye on where this suspect is going.
Again, we're over this stolen car pursuit right here in the Westminster area. And Stu, you've been over this, and clearly this person is getting into a little bit of traffic. You can see the driver because the window is down at this point.
Right, we're going to use some of the tech that we have here in Skyfox, just kind of getting a glance at what's going on in there. It does appear that it is just the driver in this minivan trying to get a read on what that logo is on the car and possibly get some how this vehicle was stolen. I don't know if this was a crime of opportunity, meaning that maybe somebody was using this as delivery or whatever that van is being used for, and then just left the keys in it, and somebody saw this vehicle running and figured it's a crime of opportunity, or if this was a planned type of deal. This is even somebody that this person knows that just took the vehicle without permission. But at this point, they're calling this stolen. This has been a full-on pursuit. California Highway Patrol may be getting into the mix right now. Been kind of, ear hustling, listening to the scanners, trying to figure out what they're planning on doing. The LAPD's basically telling the units on the ground that they can follow right now until the California Highway it up, but as far as re-engaging the pursuit, meaning getting right behind it, turning on those lights and sirens, right now they're saying no. You can see the LAPD right there. Don't want to lose our vehicle. It's got the logo on the side, but they seem to have just passed.
Okay.
So maybe they have been told basically just back off. We're going to let the California Highway Patrol handle it. And as far as that goes, we've left the LA area. We're getting into Orange County. So now it's going to be up to the Orange County Division.
What is happening with this fucking stream, though? Why is this so scuffed? It just keeps skipping around and shit.
You can see the LAPD right there. Don't want to lose our vehicle. It's got the logo on the side. But they seem to have just passed it up. So maybe they have been told basically just back off. We're going to let the California Highway Patrol handle it. As far as that goes, we've left the LA area. We're getting
we got Stu Mundell on the call today.
To the Orange County Division of the California Highway Patrol to make that
Chet.
decision if they're going to get behind it, try to pull it over.
Man, my throat.
A full-blown pursuit once again.
So it does look like this driver is by himself in this vehicle, at least from this vantage point. Obviously, it's the windows are a bit tinted, and we have no idea if anyone's in the back. But from what we can tell so far, and very just casually cruising along, right? Just judging by the body language there, doesn't seem to be all that concerned with what's going on. I am looking at the road. We keep talking about the holiday travel and how people are hitting the roads. It looks like it's pretty open for this time of the morning, 9:32 right now. It could have been a very different situation, but it is concerning because, we always talk about this. The people who are on the road with this driver have absolutely no idea what's going on.
That's right. No idea what's going on. And sometimes these drivers can drive so recklessly, but this one seems to be just trying to blend into the traffic, which isn't really going to work. We're looking at it, and I'm sure the LAPD is keeping an eye on it as well. Right now, though, just kind of moving along at a slow pace there, and he does seem to have maybe just, I would venture to say, a little tension going on just by the hand movements as he's making his way here on the South 405. As far as the traffic goes, it is starting to build up right there, and you can see the California Highway Patrol working with the LAPD right there, one of the motorcycle units. So I would venture to say that motorcycle unit knows that that's the car and that this is the suspect that they're looking for. Again, these officers, it all works in a command type of situation. They can't just go off on their own, try to pull this
all right, I think this is the only news station on it.
Supervisors, they're going to make decisions on if they're going to try to pull this person over, how they're going to handle it. But right now, tracking parking mode seems to be the safest thing to do. If this driver just stays in this normal type of driving pattern, this may become just a situation of they're going to follow it till it pulls over, and then they'll see what happens.
Hey, DJ,
but again,
it is
LAPD
11:35 a.m.
You can see a number of them there as well. Those officers talking to the California Highway Patrol. They've got to make that decision. Somebody's got to make that call. Are they going to get behind it? What are they going to do with this van?
Yeah, the good news is that we have not seen this driver, the suspect inside this stolen vehicle that police are pursuing right now, driving erratically. So clearly he's not going at a high rate of speed at this point. He's not driving erratically, going into other lanes or really hurting any of the other cars or drivers along that stretch of freeway. But yeah, you never know when he sees those black and whites behind him, and now he is going into the shoulder where it looks like there's some construction, Stu.
Well, the deputy, we're seeing him speed up just a little bit. I just pulled up the map there, or the speedometer for folks at home, and he's actually in that construction zone, and it does look like definitely trying to move a little bit faster, get a little bit distance between him and some of those other officers. There's one of the California Highway Patrol. I haven't had enough time to actually reach over and play with my scanner.
Joe, he stole this vehicle.
It does look like at least that California Highway Patrol has been cleared to get behind it, and you can see this may become a full-blown pursuit once again. That driver in that construction lane, I just hope there is no construction going on, as he's definitely going to be endangering some of those workers. But right now, just moving a little bit faster than traffic speed, only about 45 miles an hour. But still, if he collides with somebody that's standing still, that could be a very dangerous situation. And you can see California Highway Patrol re-engaging this pursuit right now as we're making our way southbound on the 405 freeway, entering the Huntington Beach area.
Shinji, what's
Again,
up,
this
man?
is a stolen vehicle from up in the Los Angeles area. Originally, it was a civilian following this vehicle, making the phone calls, telling the officers where the van was, and then LAPD got behind it, and now it's being handed off to the California Highway Patrol.
So that logo
California
on the
Highway
side
Patrol.
there, I didn't really get a good look at it. Were you able to make out what it says?
I have been trying desperately since we arrived to try to read what that says right there. That's the best we can get right now, because we are up a little bit higher because of LAPD. We have to give them their space that they need to work, but that's probably the best we're going to be able to get and see what it's trying to say. But you can clearly see the driver there now starting to use the mirrors, both hands on the wheels. So they are basically just going to keep this pursuit going. There's a phone number there as well. Hopefully they won't get inundated with phone calls as we're putting it on television right now.
I know, it's likely a business. That's what I see is
Fit
for life?
Fit for life.
Fit for life.
Fit for life.
Fit for life 1. Yeah.
Fit for life 1.
Maybe it's some sort of exercise, or maybe it's some sort of food delivery. But right now, the driver of that van probably would venture to say has nothing to do with Fit for Life. And again, is running from the California Highway Patrol. This pursuit on, once again, southbound 405 freeway. The speed's nominal, meaning about what the flow of traffic's doing. And hopefully they'll stay out of that construction zone. But this driver just venturing to say, buying his time, just keeping away from the law enforcement. And you can see the driving normal. I would just leave it at that right now. I'd give him a normal for the driving techniques. But again, this is a stolen vehicle. That driver took that car. You don't know what could happen next, and also what else is going on with that driver of this vehicle. California Highway Patrol, they're the ones in pursuit. LAPD still has a helicopter above making the calls on where that vehicle
Free advertisement.
Okay, so it looks like this is a business out of Southgate, at least by the name of it, and the phone number seems to match.
Sorry, I just woke up. I know I'm not saying much.
Maybe on Paramount Boulevard, Southgate. This is just, I'm just trying to piece it all together.
We're going to watch together, even if I don't talk much.
That civilian that called in and was following this vehicle, you wonder, did they see this happen in front of them? How were they clued in, right, as to the fact that this was a stolen vehicle?
Right, and you know, the one thing that I'm thinking is you know, even if this was a person that saw it or was perhaps the owner of that vehicle, how did they get into a vehicle so fast to be able to follow it? There's a lot of questions going on there, but one of the questions I have right now is why is he starting to pick up a lot of speed?
Yeah, he's going pretty quick now.
This is about as fast as we've seen this vehicle going since we have
been FM,
over
you're welcome.
The traffic very light out here actually in the Fountain Valley area on the southbound 405. That one CHP unit, 2 CHP units right now, right behind it.
Yeah, Hackups, this is Stu.
At least warning the public that something may be going on. But this vehicle tends to be in the carpool or the number 1 lane. So those are going to be usually the thing that I always used to say is the carpool is not the super fast lane, but is tending to be the ones with the least traffic, so you can get those higher speeds. Right now, it is exactly freeway speed right now as we're making our way still southbound on the 405, and we're going to still be in the Fountain Valley area, but speed's definitely increasing as this van's trying to create distance
DJ, there's no other news station on this, or there wasn't when I looked 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, a lot of the unknowns we're trying to figure out right now. We won't have answers for as to why he stole this vehicle, what was the intent, how he did it, and where this suspect is going now. Speeds going up to 100 miles per hour at one point right there, but overall not driving too erratically in terms of jeopardizing other people on the road at this point, but wide open right there as he makes his way onto the freeway into, I should say, Orange County, as we've been following him from the LA County area.
The prediction is up. Will this chase last 15 minutes? So what that means
the good thing is that nobody has really been in danger at this point.
Anyway.
Nobody's been in danger at this point, and that driver seems to be pretty cognizant of what is going on out there.
I waited too
Hand
long.
out the window. At least there wasn't a gesture. I was waiting to pull back there, but definitely aware of what's going on.
Go for
Not
it.
sure if he's
Let's
using
say
a cell phone,
that
or
the
maybe
15 minutes
folks are calling him. I'm sure there's a lot of Fox viewers that are out there today watching this, but you can see that driver, 2 hands on the wheel, keeping an eye on the road, and it seems to me that this person is just taking this car for a drive right now, or this van for a drive, and of course the California Highway Patrol, they're not as amused as we might be. They want to bring this thing to an end, and of course, when you have a stolen vehicle like this,
we're going to make it 30 minutes. So the question is then, is this going to last for like another 19 minutes? Or, I mean,
on the 405, but things could change up in a
this
heartbeat.
is a totally different question
If this vehicle gets blocked in, that driver might make some poor decisions.
I've been live for 12 minutes, so if this is this going to last a half hour, which would mean it's another 18 minutes.
And they weigh these things out, and that might be the reason why the LAPD, I believe it was a lieutenant or sergeant, whoever it was in that chain of command, basically said, no, we are not chasing this vehicle. We have the helicopter above it. We're just going to keep an eye on where it goes, and when it pulls over, we're going to take it. We'll see. But now the California Highway Patrol behind it, and they might have some different ideas on this. Is it going to be a pit maneuver? Is it going to be spike strips? Probably not, especially if he stays on the freeway.
Yeah, there's so much to consider, and public safety is number 1, of course, in these types of situations.
Jack, what's up?
It does seem like this driver at times picks up speed and then just kind of slows down.
Thank you for following.
Again, really, I guess the fact that the freeway is pretty much wide open is a little surprising.
Well, it is a little surprising. You know, I've always kind of canned that saying, you know, pursuit traffic is a lot of times we'll watch one of these pursuits on the freeway, and in spots where you'd think you're never going to get anywhere, there's going to be a ton of traffic, and then when they get there, it's always wide open. The one thing I got to say, though, about this vehicle, I'm keeping an eye on it, does seem to tend to, like, get closer to the wall. Even though there's a lane there, he seems to be going into that construction area that you can see right there. But right now, looks like, see now straddling the lanes. So I have a feeling this driver not really sure where he's going, just kind of doing the open road, what I got in front of me, and I'm just going to go as fast as I can. And earlier on, I was wondering if those speeds were correct. Right now, I can tell you they are correct. So he is going about 90 miles an hour as we're making our way on the 405
stolen vehicle.
Southbound. Going to pick him up right here once again, and I can tell you that we've entered the city of Costa Mesa, and this pursuit continuing on out here, California Highway Patrol right behind it. And again, lights and sirens, that's going to at least warn the public.
Eliana is on it now.
Tends to be floating between the carpool and the number 1 lane.
Not Eliana, but NBC. We'll stick with Stu
on the 405, solid
for
in
now.
the Orange County area.
I thought at one point I did see a turn signal turn on from that stolen vehicle. Maybe I didn't see it correctly, but yeah, as he was changing lanes,
but it's good to know we got to back
at one point. But clearly, you know, each pursuit is very, very different. You never know the intent of the driver, where he's going, why he did this, what could be inside that vehicle, that minivan as well, because it is somebody's business. There could be product in there, meals, as you mentioned, or maybe fitness equipment. But yeah, the intent is really unknown in terms of why this suspect chose this minivan and then decided to take this joyride from LA all the way into Orange County right now, where the suspect is going to go, and now why he's straddling these lanes. It looks like he's in the carpool lane, sometimes going into construction lanes. And, you know, the big thing is, when do they decide, okay, let this guy go, and we'll keep an eye on him in another way and figure it out later, or to continue this
we
pursuit?
Can stay here. I don't know.
Well, you know,
I like
right now,
Stu a lot,
California
but I
Highway
feel
Patrol's
like
taken over, and they have a vested interest. They actually have brought in the LAPD helicopters, dropped off, went back to work out in the Los Angeles area, and the California Highway Patrol has their own helicopter out here right now, and they're the ones that are making the calls and tracking this vehicle and working with the ground units. Are they going to go into tracking mode? I really haven't seen that in the past, especially with the California Highway Patrol. They tend to stay with it as long as they can and try to bring it to an end with safety always in mind. Now, that driver definitely picking up a lot of speed out here, getting just starting to touch the 100-mile-an-hour mark. I'm sure that Honda is able to get into those speeds, but right now that driver keeping it down just under the triple digits. Again, you know, we just don't know. My curiosity really is, and as you mentioned, is, you know, we'll try to find out. I don't know if we ever will. Who was that person following it, and how did, and what is the relationship
you're right,
going
90
on
plus.
here?
Thanks,
how
John.
did this person steal that vehicle? Again, was it a crime of opportunity? Was it because there's something in that vehicle that person might have wanted? As you'd mentioned, if this might be Fitness for Life, could be a workout company. There could be workout gear in there that maybe this person figured, well, you know what, I can get a hold of that and maybe use it. But right now, you can see that vehicle just moving along at a very good clip. Traffic very light out here in the Orange County area as we're making our way into Irvine right now. Don't get to say that too often, and you can see it right there. I'm going to get a little bit wider. I promise I won't lose the car. And you can see the freeway wide open. California Highway Patrol, they've got 1, 2, and maybe 3 vehicles in pursuit right now. Their helicopter above, everybody trying to keep the public safe, but they also want that van back and that driver in custody.
And it looks like they are keeping quite a ways of a distance, law enforcement is at this point. They're not right up against this driver, just giving the driver some space, just, I guess, hoping that it doesn't encourage this driver to act erratically is my assumption. But they're not right up against him.
Protocol is definitely something that the officers, the law enforcement in California work with, and they is enforced, and they obey it very, very well. And you're right, it could
Harley
be
says it was stolen from a repair shop.
Have that cruiser right up on his bumper, lights and sirens, and it might increase that driver's,
Daniel says, oops, I'm new to driving. Was I supposed to pull over?
He'll see those lights and sirens, he'll panic. And also it might be safety for the officer as well. You know, if he's right there up on that close to him and that driver does something erratic, then the officer might be in peril of slamming into that car or creating part of the problem, part of the accident.
Hey, Sentless,
so
what's
again,
up?
those guys, the guys and gals from a California Highway Patrol and all the law enforcement out here in the California area, all very highly trained. They're not just in that car hammering that gas pedal. It's not a video game. These guys do it for a living. They do it for saving lives and keeping people safe. And so they are trained, and they are trained for all kinds of situations.
Welcome.
And again, they are being as safe as possible while trying to bring this person into custody and that van back safely without anybody getting hurt.
Joe asks, is using a police and emergency services scanner a realistic and plausible way to predict and avoid police tactics?
He put his hand out the window at some point.
I think that
again,
it could definitely help.
We don't know if he's on the phone, if he's listening to us, perhaps, or any kind of scanner, and if he knows what's happening here. But clearly he knows he's being tailed by the CHP, but he raised that window
Why
up,
is it Fit for Life
now
1?
We can't
Why not
get
just
a good
Fit
look
for Life?
inside. But yeah, don't know what
Why
he's thinking,
1?
where he's going, what he's doing, and why.
Hey, Spendejo, welcome.
You know, a lot of times we get that, you know, those questions is where's he going? What's he doing? You know, things like that. We just don't honestly know. Nobody really does. I would even venture to say the driver of that car won't really know.
So for those of you not familiar with this guy, his name is Stu Mundell, the guy in the helicopter. And he's kind of like the LA police chase legend. Like this dude is like famous for this.
The California Highway
Patrol, but he works now in the morning. He works on he's got more of a cushy day job now.
And of course,
so you don't hear him call chases. It's very rare Stu chase.
So right now, it's still a wide open southbound freeway. We can tell you that we're still in the Irvine area. 405 is the freeway we're heading on. And you can see right there, we're going to be making that turn. We had an opportunity to get on something else. We might be, well, we are getting onto the 5 South right now. But that van continues to elude those officers.
I guess that username was, I guess so. I don't
just above freeway speeds this morning. And again, California Highway Patrol right behind them.
Okay, Stu, thank you. You stay up above and keep a track of things there as we continue to follow this pursuit. But we are going to take a break for a moment and turn to President Biden, who is reacting right now to the Supreme Court decision this morning, barring the use of affirmative action for college admissions.
Get out of here.
Let's listen in.
Rather, colleges set
Fox, you guys
standards for admission.
Anyway, I'm being a little dramatic, but here we go. We're switching back. Switching.
On the 5, I should say.
I don't play
about
that.
80 miles per hour.
I don't care what the president has to say. It's not as important
and Anton,
as this.
If he runs
okay,
into any
it is
traffic
not.
or anything coming up, please let me know. Yeah.
How dare they? That's some bullshit. Saltstorm says the easy way to pick off customers from a legit company, just to add a 1 to the end of it. Is Pepsi 1.
I can hear you.
Dude, this is Los Angeles. You're telling me you're gonna show? I don't. Was that even? Was Biden speaking live? If not, I mean, what the? Filski, what's up?
Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle, I can hear you. Yeah, this. We've made several attempts to try and see inside that vehicle. From all indications, it would appear that there is only one person in this vehicle. We've tried to look on the passenger side. Can't
Joe
really
said,
see
imagine
the
if the
back
president
right
was
now
warning of an incoming nuke.
Windows. But we have peered into
Please,
the passenger
not
side.
during the chase.
See anyone else? This vehicle now southbound on the 5, coming into South Orange County, the Laguna Hills area.
All right, Phil, this is a stolen vehicle.
As, I've been reporting
That's
on
basically
the Fast
what we
channel
know.
now for the last couple of minutes. This was a pursuit that began in the
Oh, hey, Daniel, what's
area,
up?
And very quickly took to the freeway, and for the most part has been on the 405 freeway the majority of the pursuit. No real attempt or intention to get onto surface streets, but stayed on the 405 almost entirely the time that we've been following it through Los Angeles County and through the Long Beach area, now in the Orange County area. This is a stolen vehicle out of the LAPD Hollenbeck area. And right now we've got CHP, that is the lead agency on this pursuit right now. We've seen about 3 CHP cruisers behind. There's the other one right there.
Hey, Sven, welcome. Is he holding his phone? It's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, kind of hard to see. It says Fit for Life 1.
I think he's just doing this.
Fit for Life 1.
I think he's just really relaxed. He's just kind of like, He's going 100 right now. 100 miles an hour. Brain Injured says, we should ditch voting for president
absolutely. I think
and do police chase for president. Whoever
before,
evades for the longest
V6,
wins.
Yo,
I love that idea. And, this is a good way to stop electing. Like, there's no way that someone like Joe Biden or someone like Donald Trump could do this. Like, they are too old. They could not do this. Their reaction time too fucking slow. So we would get, like, young, sharp people in office because we'd do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Very likely take us into San Diego
Hey,
County,
CRF, welcome.
Michelle.
Thank you for following. Yeah, Sentless, I think it's more likely that it's like
since we've been following it,
some pyramid scheme thing.
I don't know.
Freeway,
if you can believe that. Initially,
doesn't it seem like it Fit for Life One could be like a it could be part of some multi-level marketing?
But this individual seemed intent on getting on the freeway pretty quickly and staying on the freeway, and in fact, almost in a bizarre fashion.
Sean Oot, welcome.
This driver's been in the HOV lane the entire time for the most part. A lot of that has to do with this particular time on the freeway. You would think that there'd be more traffic in certain areas. This driver did encounter a little bit of traffic right around Huntington Beach, but he or she has had a whole lot of pavement up in front of them to really max out their speeds.
Mexico in an hour and 45 minutes.
No attempt to get off the freeway and take surface streets whatsoever. Unclear whether or not this individual has any kind of plan or anything like that for what they're going to do. And so now, coming out of the HOV lane a little bit.
Total MLM. It does seem like it's Shinji. I think I'm probably right on this one. That's just my hunch, but that's what I think. Yeah, Salt, maybe you're right. I always ask the question. This vehicle looks like it's in pretty good condition. But, like,
yeah,
if this driver were to get into a crash and total your vehicle, I mean, you'd be out of a vehicle temporarily. I mean, you'd have to go get a rental car or whatever. But would you want that insurance money to buy a new one? I don't know. Or are you hoping this guy doesn't fuck your car up?
Oh, boy.
GP, I think I'd want to drive that Jaguar that dude had the other day. San Juan Capistrano. If you got insurance, right, of course. My question is presuming that you have insurance.
My IFB keeps dropping in and out.
I know that, like, for instance, when the guy with the Knott's Berry Farm guy, when his truck got fucked up, like, he was screwed. Same with the other people in that chase who had that same problem. Like, those people got screwed because they needed that vehicle for work and it had more stuff in it than just the vehicle itself. But in this case, it wouldn't be quite like that. With this particular vehicle, you could just get another one. Like, it's not like you need a refrigerated van or something.
Not a whole lot of people have hit the road just yet. But this,
hey, Toss,
I was just talking
up?
to my pilot. This pursuit is one that could conceivably even take us to the San Diego border, to the San Diego-Mexican border, the way this individual is moving. Again, we don't know how much fuel this car had when it was stolen, so it is a crapshoot at this particular point as to how much longer this is going to go. But no attempt.
He's on the San Diego freeway. We're not in San Diego.
And that may be exactly what this individual's intent is, now that I think about it, maybe it is
hey,
to
2
try
minutes,
and
welcome.
take it to the Mexican border.
Good to see you.
And completely lose law enforcement. But as I open up the shot here a
Okay,
little
so
bit,
that's
we still
true.
have 3 CHP cruisers that are not far behind. So, of course, we all know the long hand of the CHP. They just pass the baton from division to division. So there's no chance that I can think of. And we do have who's our air support there? Who's our air support? Okay, yeah, I'll find out who our air support is, because at one point we had the Sheriff's Department providing air support, but I have yet to find out whether or not CHP has taken over the air support piece of this. But nonetheless, there are patrol vehicles still here.
Okay, so they're still following him. He's going 100. Yeah, you could never make it across the border in this situation, right? You couldn't. But you know, I just wonder if he keeps going far south, like how far can the news station follow him? Joe, sorry, I agree.
Yeah, there's 3 patrol cars that are right behind, and this driver now in the Dana Point area, just past PCH and Dana Point. So right now, we're going to be headed into the San Clemente area, the Camino Las Ramblas, San Clemente area, Capistrano Beach, I should say, San Clemente. So if you've driven southbound on the 5 here, most days, that's pretty open real estate. Not a whole lot of cars traveling southbound through San Clemente at that particular time. So
Kuming,
this
welcome.
looks like this is just going to keep going and going and going.
And Socket, you too. Hey, thank you for following Sageflower. If he has enough gas, he could make it to the border. Yeah, but I just don't think he could get across.
Yeah, around that I'd say around that time. We've been following this now. We've been up in the air. We've been following this probably about an hour or so now. And I'm also told by my pilot that CHP is the airship that's overhead. So that's going to create a situation, very seamless transition, because they're the CHP. They are the state's law enforcement agency. So there's no longer going to have to necessarily be any passing of baton, so to speak, from agency to agency.
in the
except for the
prediction,
patrol
anybody
vehicles,
who said
of course, they'll pass
yes,
it from division to division, but for the most part, the air operations
which was almost
piece,
everybody,
they can continue
you
this
won.
as long as they would like.
I'm surprised. Thanks, Red Moon. Okay, I'm going to start another one. And guys, we're saying, like, I think that this guy is going to run for more than another 15 minutes. That's what I think. But I guess the question now, I don't know how to do this. The question now is,
NLC News Chopper, we're going to switch it over to Santiago. Switching to Santiago.
I mean, I'm just wondering at this point, are the police or is the news station going to stay with it that much longer? I'm kind of having my doubts. So, I don't know, man.
Back arrow, 142, 142.
Should we do a prediction? If we do the prediction, the question is, are we still going to be watching this chase after 15 more minutes?
Yes, sir. 142, 142. Michelle, can you hear me?
Yeah, we've seen them stop broadcasting, so I think I might not do the prediction. Guys, there's just no... I don't know. I think that this chase will last another 15 minutes. The question is just, are we going to even see the end of it?
Say again, Sammy.
And I'm not confident that we will.
Okay, stand by.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. I think they're going to pull away. I think they're getting further and further away right now. I don't feel good about this, guys. I don't think we're going to see much more of this.
Yeah, can you see us on Wilson, Sammy?
Other news stations are on this at this point. Let's see what it looks like.
Yep.
Thank you, Officer Alvarez with CHP. Appreciate that. We'll continue to check back in with.
Yeah, okay. I don't know, man.
Okay,
NBC is showing the feed for us.
Sammy, this is as far as we can go due to weather.
Yeah, okay.
And we also have a little bit of a TFR situation with Camp Pendleton.
Okay. There you go. Good thing I did not start the prediction because it looks like this is about it. Task, yeah, I mean, this does seem like the type of chase they could maybe do a spike strip, but maybe not. Switch to ABC 7, okay. They're showing me ads right now, so we'll stick with this for now. Okay, their video's definitely better. Thank you. Wrong window. Okay, here we go. Where's my mouse? There we go.
All right, thanks, Sammy.
So we're going to be restricted to holding it right here around the old San Onofre
they've
power
hit
plant,
a dead end too.
and then following this with the camera to the south,
right,
and we'll be able to see very close.
Anybody
I think to the hazy shot here to the checkpoint. It's up ahead, probably about a mile and a half to 2 miles from where the vehicle is right now. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go any further south. So we're going to keep this shot up, and we can keep talking about it.
We're going to get another couple minutes.
It's just going to be a matter, if they do the spike strip, whether or not we'll really get a good look at it. But right now, there's no volume to slow the vehicle. CHP is really kind of backed off with the patrol cars. You see them there. And I'm wondering, do you see the, I do see LAPD was able to get through the Holden and hover right here, please. They were able to get clearance. Can we stay right here? Okay, I guess for some reason we have to depart, and we're going to have
to what's up?
Turn around. So
yeah, I think this is
it. Here. I'm not sure when we're going to be able to turn the aircraft back around.
Okay, and for those of you joining us watching that ABC News special report, we are following a police pursuit involving a suspect in what authorities say is a stolen vehicle. This started
so apparently
in
they can't keep going south because there's some sort of weather issue.
CHP that is handling this chase, and it has obviously gone a long distance, speeds varying quite a bit from 35 miles an hour up to 100 miles an hour. We're getting word that authorities may try and deploy a spike strip near the Border Patrol checkpoint on Interstate 5 in Camp Pendleton. And that's what we're approaching that now. They're getting very close to that area.
He's going south on the 5 deal. He's getting pretty far away.
They can't get much closer than this. They're being held back for flight restriction reasons on the military base. And there you can see that Border Patrol checkpoint, which we're approaching. And perhaps the spike strip was deployed. We'll have to get an update from authorities. We really can't get a good picture of it because of, you can see the view is obstructed. But authorities trying to stop this vehicle in this area, a suspected stolen vehicle.
Okay, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. The throng that never ends says
the side of the vehicle.
There's all these different news stations in San Diego, and yeah, I mean they've got a good heads up right now. So it's
make out anything that looks
very
like a pursuit that's come to a stop.
possible that the San Diego stations pick it up, and if they do, I'll know about it.
On Air 7 HD.
I just don't think that they're probably there quite yet.
Into Camp Pendleton now. And we, of course, will continue to follow this story, and we will have updates for you on
should have everyone. Yeah, I know.
Eyewitness News.
I always have at least one, but right now I have 3 different news stations open. But when they cut off, I just close it because it's like they're done. Okay. Yeah, Scentless is right. Like, I've never seen a handoff from LA to San Diego. I've seen chases in San Diego before, but I've never seen a handoff quite like that. But if it happens, I'll go live again. It's as far as I know. I mean, I will take one quick look, but it seems very unlikely to me that we're going to be able to just watch that right now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the Camp Pendleton was not going to let them go. They were not going to get in that airspace. So I don't know that it was entirely about weather, but it was certainly part of it was that they weren't going to get into the military base's airspace. So all right. Game over for now. Thanks, everybody. If I go live again in, like, I don't know, sometime in the next hour, it's probably the same chase. So come back and watch with me. Have a good day otherwise. Okay, the chair says nothing locally yet. All right, appreciate you. Hopefully I'll be able to go live and we'll see it in San Diego because the San Diego news stations are highly aware that this is happening. But maybe not. I don't know. Don't want to get my hopes up. And controller, thank you. Yep, all right. Beal, controller, Gamerpool, everybody on YouTube. Have a good one.